Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Phoenix, and welcome to another Around the Pound. Of course, this is our weekly look back at news that happened during the week and things we've done during the week. Joining me, as usual, are my two co-hosts from the Mole Hole and its assorted subsidiaries, Chris the Mole. And, of course, from the Shadow's Maw, Marcus Shadow. And our special guest for the week, as you just heard the voice, reporting not actually from Australia, but actually reporting from California. It is the Fallen Angel.
Hello.
All right. So, we are, of course, going to run through our assorted bit of news, the main three of us, and then we will go into our recaps, a good chunk of which will come from the Fallen Angel, who is in California because he attended the Power Morphicon convention. So we're going to talk about that in a little while. Let's go ahead and start off with the news. I guess I'll go first since I'm already talking.
And before we go into the news, I would just like to say to our viewers, to those who are watching this after the fact, if you came here for the Power Morphicon stuff, the Fallen Angel will be going last, so you can skip to like halfway through and check that stuff out.
If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, look in the description below. There will be a time code to skip to if you want to hear the Morphicon stuff.
Excellent, Jim.
Anyway, back to the news. Why what?
Why are you skipping all of the actual Around Pound Weekly show stuff? That's basically saying our entire show is worthless.
In all fairness, I think last week on this show you made Marcus Shadow's entire show pointless.
No, that was Mole making the joke and he got anal, but still I didn't tell everyone to skip our entire weekly product.
True.
That's really fucking hurt the product.
Okay, I won't put a time code.
I'm just acknowledging the fact that I know there's going to be people who are going to be here to, look at the Power Morphicon stuff. And that's still part of our product. But anyway, continue, Jim.
Mm-hmm. That's a hardy assumption that we have an audience. Anyway.
Clearly we do, and we've had live comments.
That's true, we've had a few. And what the
See,
hell
I
is
respect you people.
Hello, audience. All right. So, first thing up on the list here, I mentioned, I don't think it was last week, I think it was the week before, that there were competing Jungle Book movies currently in production. Disney announced the cast for their live-action movie, which had some quite good people in it. Well, Warner Brothers has struck back with some an announcement regarding their Jungle Book Origins, competing film, and they've announced that the villain character of Shere Khan will be voiced by none other than Benedict Cumberbatch.
Interesting choice.
So that should be interesting to see how that goes. I can see that working. Shere Khan always was the kind of... Benedict Cumberbatch's voice is a little higher pitched, but he does have that same tone, that very dulcet, evil tone. I can see that working well. So I look forward to seeing both these movies, but that would in particular for Benedict Cumberbatch.
Wait, high pitched? Have you not heard him speak as Smaug?
Yes, I've heard him speak as Smaug, but when he can go lower, but not as low as the guy who voiced Shere Khan in the animated movie. Or have you not heard that?
This is true, but his voice is low enough.
All right.
What the fuck?
What?
Okay then.
You have a problem with Marcus Shadow?
Some crazy yahoos just drove down our street with, I don't know what that was, if it's recording or what, but I apologize, folks. Crazy people. What are you going to do?
Kick you off of the podcast.
Marcus, breaking news, Marcus Shadow killed in home.
Uh-huh.
It could happen.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Shadow killed at home by people blaming him. Well, I'm not going to go there. Moving on. Who's next?
Yeah. Okay, I can go next. I'll skip to the bottom of my... I'll skip to the newest news because it's also the most saddest and it needs to be addressed first just so we can move on. British actor and film director Richard Attenborough has died at the age of 90. He died at lunchtime on Sunday, his son has told BBC News. Lord Attenborough was one of Britain's leading actors before he became a highly successful director.
Mm.
In a career that spanned 6 decades, he appeared in films including Brighton Rock, World War II prisoner of war thriller The Great Escape, and of course he was seen in Jurassic Park. And as a director, he was also known for other films like Gandhi, which has won 2 Oscars. Lord Attenborough has been in a nursing home with his wife for a number of years. BBC Arts editor has actually, I can't pronounce that name, so I'm not going to try, said. He also has been in a wheelchair since falling downstairs 6 years ago, our correspondent added. His family is expected to make a full statement about this tomorrow. So, yeah, that happened, which I will say that's a tragedy. I know people know him as the guy who did like Jurassic Park and stuff, but I've always been a massive fan of his directing. I mean, you got Gandhi, you got fucking Chaplin, which was the Charlie Chaplin film he did, which was unbelievable, which was just basically unbelievably awesome. And of course, A Bridge Too Far. If you've not seen A Bridge Too Far, you need to check out that film.
Well, also, just a slight correction to your earlier statement. Well, actually, the film Gandhi won eight Oscars, actually.
I did hear it won 2 Oscars.
Right, well, it won Richard Attenborough for Best Director, Ben Kingsley for Best Actor, it won Best Picture, among others. So it was the film of the year to see for the 1982 year.
Yeah, fair enough, but how many awards that won didn't matter. Let's talk about his actual life.
No, I'm just saying he made an amazing film that all people should go see.
Yeah, but they're saying he got the 2 Oscars, which is cool, but still.
Fair enough.
Like I said, check out that film.
Fair enough.
If you had not, I think most of you will probably tell. The 3 films I listed all do actually sort of have a, what's the name, trend or theme reminiscing through all of them. It basically, he has a knack when he did these, like Gandhi, like I mentioned I mentioned Chaplin, I mentioned A Bridge Too Far. All of these are actually historical films based on facts, like the facts about Gandhi, the facts about fucking Charlie Chaplin, and of course the facts about them trying to occupy the bridge during Germany during the Second World War, which that was amazing. Which not a lot of people could do. A lot of people tend to do the quote true story or historical things and get it wrong. He had an knack for taking those and just making them feel like a great story, which that's an amazing talent. He will be missed.
Indeed.
I agree.
Is it sad that I saw the news and I said I know that guy from somewhere when I looked it up? I'm like, oh yeah, he's in Jurassic Park and that's all I know him from.
That is pretty sad.
I know. I feel bad.
That is pretty sad. I'd even go on record as saying, because of how he's done the directing and how he's done all the acting and all the other shit he's been involved in, which some people may disagree with this, but I'd say this is probably the biggest loss for me personally that we've had since Patrick Swayze. Because the second they announced Patrick Swayze, I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
Marcus Shadow, what do you have?
Well, gee, I don't know if I can follow that up. Let's see.
I would
Now,
argue...
you don't have to follow it up. You don't have to follow it up. We're not competing here.
Yeah, and I'd also argue you've done that yourself, as he said, who's next, and you said Mole.
True.
There is logic in what he says.
So the first piece of news I have is apparently Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro are going to team up to overhaul the Silent Hill franchise. And apparently the next game, which is Silent Hill 9, will be called Silent Hills.
And hopefully by the time that that comes out and there's reviews of it, Google Hangouts will have updated their sound effect listing with a siren.
Huh. But yeah, that could be awesome. Kojima doing Silent Hill. Also, if Guillermo del Toro is going to be working on the game, does that mean the next Silent Hill movie is going to be either directed or produced by him?
It could be.
Possible.
That would be awesome.
I will also say that's kind of cool because Silent Hill went almost the Resident Evil route if they stopped being really horrors. Which it's cool that it's going back to that. And if he's doing the film, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but the first Silent Hill film is actually a really well done video game movie. The only change, really, it's pretty much the first game. The only real difference is they changed the sex of the main character.
Ah,
However, based on other video game movies, that's the least crime they could have done.
true.
Cough, Super Mario, cough.
Cough, Doom,
Yeah.
cough.
We won't get into that. But yeah, the future for Silent Hill looks bright.
Or dark.
Oh,
Ah. Fair enough. Back around to me.
Did
was just
Fallen
gonna-
Angel have any thoughts?
On anything you said.
mm-hmm.
No particularly.
That's fine.
I mean, can you
He's just here for the eye candy.
Can you imagine Silent Hill being run by like the Metal Gear Solid engine minus the combat? So it's like all stealth and stuff. Because as we all know, Silent Hill isn't known for its combat. It's got some combat, but it's mostly you avoiding like zombies and shit.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome.
In all fairness, so was Batman Arkham Asylum. That didn't stop them from completely changing it to combat based in Arkham City.
Yep. I'm allowed to say though, based on Silent Hills as well, something I've been grateful for. It's back.
Mhm.
Take a look at a load of massive games within the last year or two, and what's coming up. The survival horror's back.
Yeah.
Mm.
Totally
I have
buying
faith it'll
Alien
be.
Isolation.
Yeah, I have faith it'll be a. I have faith it'll be a good game because you've got Kojima doing the developing, and you have Guillermo del Toro overseeing the project, which, yeah, he can do survival horror very, very well. I look forward to seeing how this turns out. With those two overseeing it, and with someone there to keep Kojima's crazy in check, I think this will be awesome.
Alrighty. But the problem is, what's going to stop Guillermo del Toro's crazy?
Kojima. They're going to keep each other's crazy in check.
Or they're
Or-
both going to go off the crazy train, and that's not going to be good.
Yeah.
Or they'll get smart and hire David Hayter and to do some voice work, and he'll keep their crazy in check.
Hmm. Fair enough.
But what were you going to say, Mo?
Nothing. I just said, yeah, I could. It'll either A, they'll keep each other in check, or B, it will be a powder keg of pure craziness that I actually kind of want to see how that would explode.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was going to
Because
say.
I'm sorry, I don't think anyone can keep Del Toro in check. He's Del Toro, fucking Del Toro.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like Tarantino. If
Yeah,
if
that's true.
someone out there turns around and tells him no, I have to look at that person and say, fuck off, the guy's an artist.
Hmm.
It's not like telling Lucas no. Because if you tell Lucas no, you stop Jar Jar. You tell
Yeah.
Tarantino no, and you stop some of the intricacies of how his movies are all interlocked and how each individual one has references to past ones. It's like, no, let the guy work. You don't stop him
Yeah.
surgery in the middle of surgery. You let him
Yeah.
operate. Let these people operate.
Hmm.
Yeah.
On a related note, Guillermo del Toro is currently working on Pacific Rim 2. Anyway, moving on to my news, the second thing I have here, for the Harry Potter fans out there in the land of the internet. Shut up, Mole.
No, that's not what I was laughing at. I was laughing because I just noticed the second you swap over to your notes, you turn into Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Oops.
There's no way to describe that. He does, doesn't
It's
he? He's
true.
literally a big white smiley face.
It's true.
Ping!
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hence why my giggling, and don't. But yeah, hence why my giggling happened before you mentioned Harry Potter.
Fair enough. Okay. So, of course, for those who may not have heard, they've announced a while back that they are making a Harry Potter spin-off movie. It's called Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, based on one of the textbooks known to be used by Hogwarts students, and was an individual book released by Rowling, a short book that proceeds went to charity. And they're making a spin-off series about the author of that book, Newt Scamander. who existed several decades before Harry was born and who went on his adventures before writing the book. With the film set to be produced by WB here and is set to be a trilogy, they have announced that at least the first film will be directed by Harry Potter director David Yates, who did the last two Harry Potter films. He'll be coming back.
Could be
Wow.
I
worse.
was like, yay for Harry Potter fans. Roy Willows, I said that name, that Newt name, that
Newt
sounded so fucking like an 80s cartoon villain name.
Newt Scamander, it does, doesn't it?
They're gonna make
But-
more than one movie out of this, really?
Oh, they're making a trilogy. In all fairness, it's not just the end of the little book. Rowling has material and Rowling herself is writing the scripts for these.
Oh, so it's not
So-
just going to be a case of, I don't know, take a really short book and expand it into 3 movies because you're a shitty director who can't do anything? Cut off, Peter Jackson.
Well, no, but the thing is, none of what's going on here is related to the book itself. The book is literally just a reference book. It's a list of magical creatures and information about them, sort of like a reference book. This is supposed to be the original story that Rowling has written behind the man who wrote the book.
Yeah, which totally worked. I was just making the joke with, wait, you're gonna make a trilogy out of this? Come on, you had to make a Hobbit joke. It sort of has to be done.
Yeah.
So, Jim, what's the over/under on Benedict Cumberbatch being in this trilogy?
I don't know. It depends on what the things are, what creatures Newt Scamander will be encountering and things that will be going on. So we'll have to see if there's some kind of a role that would work well for him, either some type of a villain role, or perhaps some type of a really smart person that they could put him in, or something. I don't know.
He should play Newt Scamander.
I don't know.
I wonder if they'll bring back the greatest Harry Potter actor of all time, Robert Pattinson.
The thing is, I think, at least based on my interpretation, I think Newt Scamander is meant to be more of a gruff outdoorsman type, and I can't buy Benedict Cumberbatch as a gruff outdoorsman.
I still love that name.
It's a great name.
And we lost the Fallen Angel.
Oh
I
dear.
think he just turned his video off for a bit. His
Fair enough.
box is still here.
He might be
Fair
AFK.
Moving on.
Anyways,
Yeah.
here.
So yeah,
There
they're,
you are.
yes, they're making they're planning to make it into a trilogy, and the films are going to be 2 years apart from one another. So Rowling has enough time to balance writing the screenplays of the films with her other projects. And it will be filmed in Leavesden Studios once again, the studio in which they shot all 8 of the Harry Potter movies. They had originally offered the directing gig for this to Alfonso Cuarón, but he turned it down.
Boo!
That should worry people, I think.
Yeah. I have to plug in.
The films
able to
are going to come out. The film's going to come out 2 years apart, so she can work on her other stuff. The fact a lot of films that are probably better than this, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but films that are bigger take 3 or 4 years to make. If she's going to make this in 2 years, and the only reason 2 years is because she's distracted by the other stuff, that worries me in terms of what the quality would be like.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah, according to the article here, Alfonso Cuarón mentioned that he wasn't interested in the film because it was very CGI heavy, and that he has love for the universe and what happened there because he did direct Prisoner of Azkaban, but he feels like he's coming out of a 5-year process of doing visual effects in a lot of pictures that he's done, and he wants to step away from that and do something different. So that was his reason for not wanting to direct the movie.
And who did you say?
What?
I said, who did you say?
Alfonso Cuarón.
Ah, fair enough.
So there you go. So yeah, if you like the last, I think he did the last 3 Harry Potter movies. I think he did the 2 parts of Deathly Hallows and Half-Blood Prince. I believe he did the last 3.
Who, David Yates?
Yeah.
No, he started with the 5th movie, with Order of the Phoenix.
He did. Are you sure?
Positive.
Because I'm. Oh yeah, because Quarantine. Yeah. Okay, you're right. Okay. I didn't think for a second. Okay. So yeah, if you like the last 4 Harry Potter movies, should be interesting to see where this goes. If you thought some of the other movies were a little better, then well, maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll do better with this more original series that doesn't have preconceived notions. Who knows? We'll see where it goes. I'm excited to see it either way. Mo.
Okay, back to me. this news. Oh,
Oh,
God.
I'm sorry, Mo. One more thing. I should mention that we will hopefully be getting some more news for the movie. Hopefully, whenever LeakyCon happens again. We don't know
What's
when
that
that
called?
is.
Something else?
No, well, no, it's yeah. They recently changed the name to GeekyCon to help better celebrate the fact that there's all fandoms there now, not just Harry Potter. But they have separated off LeakyCon itself to be an individual convention now. They mentioned that back at the ending ceremonies at the beginning of the month. So there will be an individual LeakyCon dedicated to Harry Potter solely again. Sometime in 2015, they're planning that out. But either if we don't hear from there, maybe we'll hear it at actual GeekyCon, which will be next summer in Orlando, where it was this year. So we'll see. But yes, you had some terrible sounding news.
Yeah, I got this news. Just because of its stupidity, I'll get this news out of the way as well. I will warn people in advance. Most of my news, or pretty much all my news, is negative in my opinion. But several gaming servers have been at the receiving end of a DDoS attacks, and that's today. This is breaking news right now, people. You've probably already seen this though on social media and stuff, but still. These are Blizzard's Battle.net servers, Riot's League of Legends, Grinding Gears Games' Path of Exile, and of course the PlayStation Network. From a group that called themselves the Lizard Squad. I don't know.
Okay then.
Yeah, they call themselves the Lizard Squad. Or just Lizard Squad, but I'm sorry, it needs a there. But several tweets have gone up through the Saturday evening in which the Lizard Squad have taken responsibility for the attacks. The group started with Blizzard servers that included Hearthstone, Diablo 3, World of Warcraft, and others. The group then quickly spread to League of Legends and Path of Exile before deciding to spread their terror to the PlayStation Network. The latest outage is not related to the scheduled maintenance, which is meant to begin tomorrow, Monday. American Airlines, as well, had delayed a flight carrying the president of Sony Online Entertainment following what might have been a bomb threat by a group of alleged hackers, the same group that has claimed responsibility for the outage, so Lizard Squad, the PlayStation Network and other gaming services this weekend. Because bear in mind, this was two newses, but they were so intertwined, I put them as one.
Fair enough.
This afternoon at around 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the group Lizard Squad tweeted at American Airlines to say that a flight carrying John Smedley, president of SOE, the developer behind such games as EverQuest Next and stuff like that, had exploded on board. Something about security in our cargo, Smedley added. American Airlines did not immediately respond to the request for comment on this. It confirms that the airline.
Oh, we're losing them all.
Oh dear.
So long, Mole. We knew you well.
Yeah, we've.
I see darkness. He's in his mole hole. Ah! I can see the mole again.
I'm here.
His
You
lips moving and I hear it.
No, I hear him. Mo, you completely broke up and we couldn't understand anything you just said. And your video cut out for a second too.
Okay, I have no idea why.
Yeah, I don't know either. It was random.
Yeah, you were talking about the bomb threat and Smedley's reaction to it.
Which part? Yeah, which part did you get up
Like
to?
I said, you were about to talk about Smedley's reaction to it, and then it all went wonky.
Oh, all I mentioned was something about security in our cargo, Smedley added. And I mentioned American Airlines did not immediately respond to requests for comment, but their web page's flight tracker confirms that the airline diverted flight number 362 this afternoon. Representatives of Sony Online also did not immediately respond for requests for the comment. So yeah, that happened today.
Idiots.
You've gone from hackers to terrorists. Good job, guys. You're now on the FBI's watch list.
To be fair, aren't hackers cyber terrorists?
This is true.
Which, yeah, I never see the point. I understand they're going to try to justify it with some sort of, I don't know, fucked up logic, which is fair enough. However, you're not the good guys when what you do affects other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, since you brought it up, you should have mentioned their justification for this attack.
Yes.
Yeah, their justification was really what they mentioned on Twitter, but their justification for this attack was because PlayStation basically charges people money for PSN and doesn't demand they have the best, what's the name of it, the best defenses online for stuff like DDoS attacks and stuff. They thought they'd punish them, which like people said, come on. And they also mentioned corporate greed, and it's like, come on. Really, you're trying to tell me the only video game companies out there that you guys find greedy are Blizzard and Sony and the other ones? It's not like, and I'm sorry, it's not like EA or Capcom. Don't get me wrong, EA is not a bad company anymore, but still, when people think greed, EA, Capcom, and stuff like that are all up there.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I mean, I'd actually argue Sony may be one of the least greedy of the video game companies due to the fact there's a reason they've lost a load of money. It's because they're not stealing loads of money off people.
True.
Fair enough.
Oh, Fallen Angel seems to have muted himself.
Well, he'll be back, I'm sure. In the meantime, over to Marcus Shea.
And in greater number.
Exactly.
All right. So my second bit of news is apparently Superman will have to answer for all the death and destruction that he caused Man of Steel in Batman vs. Superman. Quote, Superman will have to answer for what happened at the end of Man of Steel. Half the public blames him for all the death and destruction. If it wasn't for Superman being there, General Zod would have never come to Earth. That's a quote from BatmanNews.com. So yeah, apparently they're planning to actually address the big thing that a lot of people were talking about with Man of Steel of, yeah, he just fucked a lot of people over and it's okay because he's Superman. Yeah, no, it's not.
No.
Yeah. Like I said, in terms of in the universe, it's not okay. It's not okay that those stuff got destroyed. But like I mentioned, I'd also not argue it was a fault within the movie, like some people argued, because they're both fucking Kryptonians. What the fuck could stop them? If they fight, it's gonna be like when Doomsday v Superman happened in the comics, and they tore the crap out of Metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, back to Jim.
Okay. My next item of news that I would like to mention here. I'm going to save the other one I have for last. So I would like to mention, I had previously mentioned on various occasions in terms of talking about upcoming fall TV shows that there was a forthcoming show entitled Emerald City, which is going to be a new show on NBC and was going to take a look at a different perspective of the land of Oz, one that was a little more gritty, a little more realistic, etc., etc. They purchased this drama from Siberia creator showrunner Matthew Arnold, and since then they've been really promoting it and gave it a straight-to-series 10-episode order, even promoting the series at both the main network up front and July's at San Diego Comic-Con in July. But unfortunately, they have nixed the show. They opted not to move forward because the network and the producers couldn't agree on a vision for the series. The network wanted one thing and the producers wanted something else. So it's nixed for now, although Studio Universal TV may shop it around somewhere else, get it on Netflix or on another network somewhere. I hope so. I was interested to see how this was going to work out. So hopefully they'll find a place. There hadn't been any casting done. It's a little better off than Fox's Hieroglyph, which got pre-canceled before it could premiere, but already had filmed a trailer and everything. So hopefully we can find out some more about the show, and maybe if they can sell it off to somebody, and we can see something out of it.
Which sounds good, but I'd also say hopefully, and this isn't an offense to the show, hopefully this means the networks are over that craze.
Mm-hmm.
And that craze I'm on about is I don't want to. Not everything needs a gritty reboot. Wizard of Oz doesn't need a gritty reboot. I'm sorry, it doesn't. And we already had one. It was called Tin Man. It's like I don't want to see a gritty reboot of, say, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but I could see the networks totally doing one, and it's like I don't want to see that. And I think we did, called Snow White and the Huntsman, or what the fuck that film was.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, back over to Mo.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm doing pretty good. Okay, my news. My other bit, I'm going to go with my short news. I'll keep the other one to last. I'm going to break up my disappointing newses with one I think stupid, but other people may like. And that is, Shaun of the Dead is being resurrected for a Halloween special for Disney's Phineas and Ferb. According to Simon Pegg himself, Pegg, star of Star Trek Into Darkness, The World's End, and of course Shaun of the Dead, revealed on Twitter that his character from Shaun of the Dead, along with Nick Frost, will return for an upcoming episode of the animated series. Here's the news. At Nick Frost and myself will once again be stepping into Shaun and Ed's shoes for the hashtag Phineas and Ferb Halloween special. Woot, Peg wrote. So yeah, that's a thing.
Okay then.
Yeah, that made my news just because that was extremely weird.
Yeah, that's a real what the
Yeah.
fuck. Okay, Marcus Shadow, what else you got?
Well, the last thing I have is that Marvel Comics has come under fire for an overly erotic image used for the upcoming Spider-Woman #1 comic. Mole, being the comic guy, may already be aware of this one. I don't know. The cover image was drawn by artist Milo Manara, an artist known for pornographic comics. The criticism and outrage is over why Marvel would choose an artist like Manara for a comic aimed at women. Yes, their demographic for Spider-Woman is women. They're like, yeah, let the porn guy draw the cover art. Words like sexist and offensive are being used by fans on Facebook, Twitter, and various other news sites that have also reported or are currently reporting on this piece of news.
That's because their demographic at the time when it came out may be women, but they still want to get a male audience, so they do the same thing all comic books do of trying and exploit women, which I do not agree with.
Mm-hmm. So here's the image in question if anyone is interested. Put it in our little group chat there.
Yep,
Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah, so I have seen that, and I also saw someone talking about it on Facebook. And then they put a side-by-side image with normal Spider-Man, and it's exactly the same fucking pose. So why is it any different?
There is
Because it's being
logic
used on
in what he says.
Yep. It's different because that pose on a woman highlights different parts than it does on a man.
Yeah, they should just get the fuck over it.
No, this isn't Power Rangers. The comics don't need to be sexist and racist.
And yet that's never stopped comics in the past.
It hasn't, but it needs to stop. That was like one of my biggest complaints with that Arkham film we watched. It was extremely sexist.
Yeah.
Let's over-sexualize everyone except for the ugly woman. What the fuck? But back to Jim, I believe.
Indeed. So I'll go with my last bit of news. I just heard about this shortly before the recording went on the air, so also kind of breaking. I don't know if anybody in our audience will care, but I felt this or mentioning because wow. In a news here, in a breaking news report, it happened last night, but the news of it didn't break until this morning. Apparently, last night, link here. Okay, there it is. Give me that. All right. So last night, of course, the VMAs were, of course, last night. If you don't know.
Yep.
And there was a pre-Video Music Awards party being hosted in West Hollywood in the early morning hours of Sunday.
That's
right. And at the event in question, which occurred at the One Oak nightclub in the 9000 block of Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood, Shots were fired at this party. This party in question was being hosted by Chris Brown, whom you might remember as the former boyfriend of Rihanna. Well, apparently, and after this, if I were Chris Brown, I would be running for my life right now. Apparently, the shots were fired in this place, and rumors are about it the shots were aimed at Chris Brown. No one is really sure. And considering somebody else said or aimed at Justin Bieber, even though there's no evidence he was even at the party, I'm not sure. But rumors somebody was trying to shoot Chris Brown. We don't know, but whatever happened, the shots went astray, and instead, whoever it was shot Suge Knight. Of course, well-known hip-hop music mogul. He was apparently shot 6 times and rushed to the hospital. There were 2 others wounded, a 32-year-old male and a 19-year-old female whose identities are not yet revealed. But apparently they are all at the hospital, and they are all stabilized. Suge is in the ICU recovering. He will pull through. But, yeah, shit got crazy at the party. Apparently, people were freaking out. Somebody captured a video from inside the nightclub on Instagram. The bouncer was yelling, "Get down." Nobody knew what the hell was going on. Other people that were there included model Tyson Beckford, actor Robert Richard, and Black Eyed Peas member Apple to App, however he pronounces that, who all said they heard the shots of being fired at the club. Potentially relevant, but not fully relevant, is rapper The Game was also said to be one of the guests there. He's said to have tried to get into the party an hour and a half before the shooting and was reportedly denied entering after having an altercation with security guards that turned into a full-on fight. Although others are saying that they saw pictures of him in the club and that he did get in, so nobody's really sure what the fuck happened. Or if that had anything to do with the shots being fired at Chris Brown at the party. If they were being fired at Chris Brown at the party. So, yeah, that party went kind of nuts, and Suge Knight's in the hospital with gunshot wounds. So, hopefully he's okay. Well, he's in the ICU. Hopefully he will pull through and be okay, so more power to you, Suge Knight.
Yep, and that sucks when stuff like that always happens.
Yeah. But at least he survived. At least nobody got killed. So yeah, that was my sad final news, and I'll go back over to Mole for his sad final news.
Mine's only sad if you're a fan of it, but
Okay.
my sad final news is Mythbusters fan favourites Carrie Byron, Tori Belenci, and Grant Imahara are all leaving the series after 10 years on the show. The show's hosts, Adam Savage and Jamie Hyneman, will still be around, though. And it was announced last night that the Axe Trio, they took to Twitter, saying the Discovery Channel show had decided to take the show in a new direction. And it says here, I guess you guys are finding out the news right about now. After a decade of Mythbusters, we are no longer with the show, Carrie said in a series of tweets. Thank you to all the fans who supported us. The show is taking a new direction. It was an amazing run. I learned so much about myself and the world. I love you all at Mythbusters. I'm sad for an ending, but there will be an exciting new adventure for all of us. When asked by Fox 411 the reason that the three would not be returning next season, a representative for the show failed to elaborate what the new direction for the show would actually be. However, it seems that there's no hard feelings between them.
And did you want to mention the supposed reasoning behind their being released?
And there is a rumor going around. There's 2 rumors going around. One is it was over salary, like it could be a contract salary dispute. Another one is the production company that does Mythbusters is losing money, so they'd probably be trying to cut costs from various shows that they do, and that'd be one way of cutting costs. However, none of that's actually been confirmed right now, so I didn't want to report that until it was confirmed.
It's still in the realm of rumor.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's still in the realm of rumor, but anything can be in the realm of rumor.
True.
3 out of 5 popular characters on a hit show walking out because of salary. Oh, that reminds me, we have some news coming up with Karama.
This was watched by adults.
Oh.
And who's this Karama you speak of?
You know who I mean. He's known by that name even in the X-Pound too.
He is.
He is. It's been mentioned in certain events in which we've posted them both on Xpound and on Rage Ration that he is both Kurama and the Fallen Angel. But speaking of which, yes, I believe that wraps up all the news. So let's move on to our catch-up of the week.
Indeed.
So I guess I will go first again. We'll keep the order going.
I was going to say, didn't you want the Fallen Angel to go first? As he didn't say anything during the news, so it'd be kind of cool to have him say something.
Well, given that he was going to have the most for the catch-up, I figured we wanted him to go last. That way we could all get our stuff out of the way, and he could just go for however long he wanted to go for the rest of the video.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. So the first thing that I'll mention, I will apologize to everyone right now. While I do have it sitting over here on my shelf, I have not had time to read any of Kingdom Keepers 3 yet. The streak is broken. I'm so sorry. I have failed you all. I'm ashamed.
You've not just let yourself down, you've let down the X-Pound and the worldwide audience. Effectively, your failure is worse than Jack Swagger's. He just disappointed the country. You've disappointed the world.
I'm sorry.
Mole, I call for a vote of no confidence.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I should not take these scissors and commit seppuku.
Okay, so now over to Marcus.
And over to you.
Yeah, we're maintaining the order over to you, but yeah. I haven't had a chance to read Kingdom Keepers 3 yet. Again, I will make sure I read at least a chapter before next week so I have something to talk about.
And I know the order, but if you committed seppuku, it's a perfect segue to move it to the Asian.
That's true. But go ahead, Mo.
No, I'm kidding. I assumed you've done other stuff this week.
Okay, yeah. Other things that happened this week. Obviously, I read this awesome graphic novel, which Mo and I will be reviewing. Stay tuned. I'm not going to go any further into that. Yes, Mo has it over there, too. Good stuff. Stay tuned. That will be reviewed. Mm-hmm. So that's coming. Other things that happened this week. I don't have all of them here with me. I have been very into reading these. I like Batman Beyond. It's awesome. I've been very into reading these Batman Beyond graphic novels. I haven't read this one yet. This one is Industrial Revolution, it's called. But I read about 3 others or at least 2 others this week. I think it was it? No, 2 Batmans and a Justice League Beyond, I think.
Technically, is that one of the new Batman Beyonds?
Yes.
In which case, it's not Batman Beyond.
What do you mean?
The official name for it is Batman Beyond 2.0, so you can tell the difference between the two.
Fair enough. I'm just noting that on the covers and it doesn't say 2.0 anywhere.
Yeah,
so.
That's how they always advertise it, Batman Beyond 2.0.
You are right. I read that online. But yeah, Batman Beyond 2.0, there's about 8 of these out so far. I've read most of them. They're really good. I've always been a fan of the Batman Beyond TV series and that whole future world. And I've generally seen a lot more adventures in here of things that are that come about. And also the Future Justice League. So I read, I'm trying to remember the ones I read here. I've been reading them out of order, unfortunately, because I'm reading them in the order that we'd be getting them at my library. But there's a series of adventures involving, of course, Terry McGinnis as Batman, including his encounter with a new Catwoman, who is pretty fun. They've got a similar witty banter to the original Batman and Catwoman, only this Catwoman, it's not called Catwoman because of a necessarily over cat theme, although she is still a cat burglar. The other reason she calls herself Catwoman, in addition to having a suit that has ears, like the helmet looks kind of like cat ears, I guess, but she calls herself Catwoman because she has a genetic power to split herself into 9. So, 9 lives.
Oh, that sounds kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. It's mentioned she's the daughter of someone that Batman knows who had an ability to split himself a lot. I think not like multiple man, but something with that kind of power. But because she's only his daughter, so she only has part of his DNA, she can only split to 9 at max.
Really numerous?
I don't know. I'd have to. Like I said, I returned those graphic novels already, or I'd be looking it up right now. But I don't, unfortunately, have. I don't have them with me to look at, or I would. But yeah. So that's pretty good stuff. That one was fun. They also there's another adventure where Batman Beyond in that same graphic novel where he meets the Metal Men. The big ongoing arc throughout most of these is that there's this secret organization that's basically been on, or at least there's supposedly it's basically a big computer hacking consortium, and it's supposedly there's not actually a central figure per se, but there actually is. I won't spoil anything, but there actually is somebody behind it. Not anybody really known, but basically, Batman has a friend who goes, her name is Maxine. They call her Max for short, and she's his oracle. She's a master computer hacker, and she feeds him information from computers and things when necessary. Not that Bruce is not also still doing so, but sometimes information that he requests that Bruce either isn't willing to give, or if Bruce is otherwise incapacitated or inaccessible, she steps in and serves as sort of an oracle. And the storyline is she was secretly joining this organization with the intent of spying on them and finding information out about them, but she got a little sucked into it and was forced to help them do this thing they wanted to do. And in the end of it, it turns out one thing they were doing is they were powering up a big robot that turned out to actually be the Metal Men, who are well known in the Bruce Wayne Batman era. You can look that up if you don't know. The Metal Men are cool. So that story happened. In addition, there are several Justice League Beyond stories featuring a variety of interesting things going on. Including, let me see here. I have the names here. There we go. So the first title of the new series is Batman Beyond Hush Beyond, which is pretty cool. That's where the Batman Beyond is fighting a new Hush, who is committing crimes, killing people or otherwise committing crimes tied to the old rogues gallery of the original Batman. Somebody is killed, and there's a two theme to it for Two-Face. Somebody's killed with a penguin umbrella, shit like that. It's pretty cool. Again, I won't spoil the reveal of who the new Hush is. Then this one, Industrial Revolution, comes up. This one's pretty cool. This is about Batman taking on taking a guy by the name of the Matter Master, and also the return of his old nemesis Derek Powers. Followed up is the one I really like the most is called Batman Beyond 10,000 Clowns, where somebody finally, as you may know in the Batman Beyond world, there's a gang called the Jokers, who are this basically gang who admire and attributed to the late Joker. Well, somebody finally got all the Joker gangs from all the cities together, and they all came to Gotham and terrorized the place by suicide bombing everything in sight. And it was kind of insane. To the point that the elderly, well, not elderly, but older, shit. What the hell's his name? Oh, crap. The Robin, not Grayson, the other one, Tim. Tim Drake. Thank you, nobody. But the Tim Drake, who has basically, after the whole shit with the Joker, wants nothing to do with Bruce Wayne and the Bat family, is agreed, as with nobody else left, he goes with Bruce Wayne in the hospital dying from liver failure, which he's been hiding for a long time. He actually goes to the Batcave to work the computer and help Batman solve the case. While Dick Grayson, who is running a martial arts studio, effectively retired because of a bullet in his spine because Batman fucked up. The original one, not the new one. Actually comes out of retirement and starts. He has got a badass eye patch and shit. He comes out and starts kicking ass. It's really a badass story. 10,000 Clowns. It's pretty awesome. There's a revelation. They're being led by a guy named the Joker King, who there's a revelation who he has a relation to Batman via someone he knows, which is kind of cool. It's pretty awesome. And, yeah, it's pretty cool. So check that out. Then there's the Justice League Beyond Constriction, which I read. That one was basically, you may remember from Batman Beyond episodes, there was a gang dedicated to snakes and splicing DNA of snakes into people. Had a snake leader dude. Basically, it's about them becoming a more worldwide threat because they get some ancient relic that can release a... Oh, I forgot the name of it. Jeff might know this. What's the name of that ancient... The snake, and it's constantly swallowing its own tail? I don't know if you know that old legend. I think it was an old Asian thing. I know. Stupid assumption. I can't remember what that... An Ouroboros. There we go.
I thought Marcus was an old Asian thing.
Well, that's true, he is. But yeah, they summon an Ouroboros, and the Justice League has to take him down, and you get to see all the Justice League members and learn more about them. A little bit about the Green Lantern, but you get to learn a lot about he's not a Hawkman, he's Hawk something or other. He's him in there. You get to learn about Barda, who's effectively the Wonder Woman. She's one of the new gods. Stuff like that. It's pretty cool. You get to learn a lot about the new League. And see a lot of them, and also see a cool thing where you get to see Terry wearing a Batman Beyond batsuit that has a cape, which is kind of fun for a little while. And also I'm going to talk about this because it's kind of a spoiler, but this is just there's a really badass thing that happens in this that I didn't see coming. I'm like, wow, that's kind of awesome. Um, are you waving at us, Fallen Angel?
No. Hmm. Could work, Jeff.
It's me. You should know better. Um,
No, it's just story time with Jim.
it is. You know that. Come on. We're supposed to talk about things we did and what we liked about what we did. That's the purpose of the segment. That's what I'm doing. Um, there's a scene where basically the Ouroboros has, yeah, funny. The Ouroboros has destroyed basically is destroying everything and has beat up like everybody, and even the League was no match for it. It had invulnerable skin, and nobody could stop this thing. It killed a bunch of the new gods, freaking even to the point that what's his name out there, Darkseid and the other good guy of the new gods opened the equation of whatever it is. Mole probably knows what I'm talking about. And it blinded Darkseid. He sacrificed his own sight for this thing and lost his throne. And effectively, the way they beat it is everybody's got all these different things, like trying different aspects that might work, calling it back up or whatever. And they all say goodbye because they're going to die. And Terry goes to Bruce, and Bruce gives him a book and a little jar of ash. It says, okay, if anything, in the absolute Earth's diest hour, spread this ash around yourself and read the marked passage in the book. Terry's like, okay, whatever. And there's a weakness to fire of this thing, and they go to this battle and they do this thing, and everybody gets their ass kicked, and Superman gets knocked around, and they're losing, and so Terry spreads the ash around him, and he reads the passage in the book, and he turns into fucking Etrigan. And I was like, okay, that's badass. I like Etrigan. I did not expect to see him here, because apparently the ash was the ashes of the dude who was what's his name, Jason Blood, so he got to become Etrigan for a little while. That was awesome. So I like that. And there's some other adventures. There's one of Superman coming to cope to the fact that the future he's not what he used to be, but he could still be helpful to Metropolis and coming to grips with the society, because he'd been gone from Earth for a while and he came back. There's a couple more I haven't read yet. There's Batgirl Beyond, which introduces a new Batgirl, which is kind of cool. You see her interact with Barbara Gordon a little bit. That's fun. And then there's two that are forthcoming. So I've been reading all of these over the last week or so. They're pretty awesome. I haven't read this one yet, but check these out. These are great. And last thing, again, sticking with the Batman theme, I've also been replaying Arkham Asylum. This game is awesome. Replay it if you get a chance. I love it. I've been having a lot of fun. I'm doing it on normal difficulty. I was debating doing it on hard, but I was thinking maybe doing it, but then I started playing normal, and I'm like, okay, glad I didn't do it on hard, because I've still got to get used to this again. So, playing this again, it's an awesome game. It is the best one. So, play this again if you get an opportunity, excuse me. It's fun. Good way to get yourself prepped for Arkham Knight next year. Maybe it'll be good as this, probably not, but we'll see.
Oh, if you want to prep yourself for Arkham Knight next year, just buy Tanks on Wii U.
Ha! Nice. Yeah, where's that there? There we go. All right, so that's everything I did. I'm sorry I'm kind of running off the mouth, but yes, next week I will have more Kingdom Keepers to talk about. Next week I will have watched the film Kick-Ass 2, which I will talk about. And maybe I'll do some other stuff. Somebody at work gave me some random comics that I can read, so maybe I'll read these and talk about these. Who knows?
So you can't do Kingdom Keep. Our audience have been expecting it. Now that you've missed it, it's over. You've done. You've ruined that segment. You've tainted it forever.
Anyway, that is all of my catch-up. Let's go over to the mole.
Okay, as people have seen me drinking during this, I will also point out, first of all, Boom has now come out in the UK.
Coca-Cola Life.
Coca-Cola in a green can, made with all natural ingredients. As it says here, lower calorie, sweetness from natural sources. Help for your Coke.
I'm not sure if that's a thing over here.
Fair enough. But yeah, Coca-Cola Life. Pretty good.
Nice. There you go. Are they still doing the cans with the names on them for that?
They are, but not for this particular one. For
Fair
these, for the green ones, it doesn't seem to be on it.
Okay.
But the other game I played this week, get all the things I've done this week. I've played a game. I played Surgeon Simulator, Anniversary Edition.
Yeah, with shout out to Geeky Girl.
Where
That's it.
literally, you play with one hand, but you're like that, trying to pick things up, and you're trying to operate, which is hilarious. So far, I've done a heart transplant, I've done I've done a kidney transplant and a brain transplant, which it's pretty easy. It's not brain surgery, uh, but no, it's pretty fun. Right now, I'm on the eye surgery thing, so you have to sort of pop something in his eye, pull it out so his eye sticks out a bit, then bang him on the head till his eyes fall out. Then you got to sever it and put the new eyes in. Yeah, this game is gory. It's messy. And the controls are awkward because you're like that, but that's all the fun of it. Like, you'll be going to pick up like the needle to basically stab him with it to stop the bleeding. You'll inject yourself and go on a complete like fucking high acid trip until you inject yourself with the antidote to the that. Pretty fun. You should check that out. I've also been playing UFC, which is fun. I am officially retired from UFC on the game because the older I got, the slower I was becoming, and the less stamina I got. I started the game because I knew I'd age, so I started younger than I am now. I was like 22. By the end, I was in my 40s, and I couldn't win the title back. After I lost once, I couldn't win it back. 'Cause every time I'm in the title, I'm against young, fresh guys who are like at the top of their game, and I just couldn't win it back. I kept getting more and more damage, and then the end result is my character officially has to retire and is now in the Hall of Fame. So that was pretty fun.
Nice.
And I've been watching the regular TV shows I normally watch, like the 90s, the era that connected us and stuff. We're talking about the 90s, which is fun. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing this week. Over to Marcus.
Indeed. Marcus Shadow, what have you been up to this week?
Not much, because as our viewers are probably well aware, I was out of town yesterday, so I spent most of the week preparing for said trip. But
Wouldn't said trip be something you did during the week?
Yeah, wouldn't that constitute?
But yes, no. So during the week, I basically continued watching my shows, Food Network, HGTV, stuff like that. Love on HGTV. I love Property Brothers and what's the other one? House Hunters, which I mentioned, I think, on the last Around the Pound. Didn't really play any games. I didn't play any more Mass Effect, I don't think. If I did, it was like at the beginning of the week, but I don't remember. So yeah, I guess the big thing. Go ahead.
I said, Marcus Shadow, I distinctly remember us playing a game a couple nights ago.
This is true. I forgot about that. We did go back to Star Trek Online. Myself, James Phoenix, and our other Aussie buddy, who's actually in Australia.
Aeon Rider.
We did go.
I have to say, if I was a fallen angel, I'd be offended by that. The way you said that of our other Aussie friend, who's actually in Australia, yeah, fuck you, Kage. Go back where you came from. It's like, that's so harsh. He's our guest, dude.
He's our guest. He's our guest.
Yes, but yeah, that was fun. We decided
with real gorilla vests.
We decided we hadn't played in a while, and the next expansion is slated to come out pretty soon, so we decided to prepare for that and just generally check out some new stuff and level up one of our other characters. So it was fun.
I don't know.
So I guess the big thing of the week was I did go out of town. I went to Canada with the parents. Went up there for my grandmother's 90th birthday.
Oh, and how is the Queen of Hearts?
Wrong side of the country.
Wait. You're Asian.
Mm-hmm.
You live in America, but your grandmother's Canadian. What the fuck? Do you just spread across the country like a virus? Choose a country. Pick a side, damn you.
Hey, it's not my fault she moved to America.
You non-committal bastard. Pick a side.
But no, the Queen of Hearts lives in Nova Scotia, which is on Jim's side of the country, on the eastern seaboard over there.
It was still connected by the same road, because Canada only has one road.
Indeed.
True. And as I said to you, yes, they do, and it's length of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, went up there, was fun seeing, family that I don't normally see, because a lot of the people that showed up, were from Canada, which is the reason we did it up there.
So there was loads of people with like flappy heads.
Yes, there was.
Nice.
And
did you go and see Prime Minister Saddam Hussein?
nah, I didn't need to go see that.
No, he went around with a t-shirt with a giant M, and he kept making fart jokes.
Fair enough.
I also would like to quick mention, because I did watch some YouTube videos and stuff. I'd like to quick mention one I saw. I can't remember what convention it was from, but it was from this year, and a bunch of voice actors on it. Dante Bosco, DC Douglas, the chick that voices Cora. I'm sorry, I don't watch that show. And some other voice actors. What's that?
He said, "How dare you?"
Some other actors, but also the last one was Scott McNeil, who people know from Piccolo and DBZ and Wolverine and Wolverine and the X-Men, or one of the X-Men shows. But he did voice Wolverine. Oh, he was the Evolution voice. Yes, Wolverine. Also, those who know of Scott McNeil probably know he is Canadian, and how one thing he said on the panel just made me crack the hell up, because he's abso-fucking-lutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And he mentioned that it pisses him off how Wolverine is voiced and is played, because no one plays him correctly based on his actual backstory that Marvel's given him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said Wolverine is supposed to be from northern Canada, from northern Alberta. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, that's not what Albertans sound like. And he did the accent, which made me crack the hell up, because I know for a fact that the accent he did is in fact a northern Albertan accent, because I have family from up there. Mm. I was like, yeah, he's got a point.
Technically, that's not how Wolverine should sound.
Oh?
Because Wolverine's been in America since like the World Wars and shit like that. He would have lost the accent. It's a transatlantic accent.
Fair enough. That's true. I think Scott McNeil was like half joking anyway, but I was like, wait, he's got a point, because yeah, that is the North Albertan accent. Huh? I hadn't even thought about that before.
There you go. Fair enough.
Yeah, that's what I did this week.
Okay.
Over to the Fallen Angel.
Yes, and as alluded to, we now go over to the Fallen Angel for news from Power Morphicon.
Well, before we get to that, since I have other news as well,
alright,
just some catch up. First of all, Doctor Who, fuck yes. The first episode back was brilliant. Legend of Korra wrapped up this week. Season 3 was absolutely fucking fantastic. I think it outshone Book 1 and Book 2 of Avatar.
Nice.
Also, I see we've somehow lost Marcus Shadow. I apologize. Hopefully we'll get him back.
He could suck.
Oh,
there he is. Jeffrey
Oops.
joined the call.
My bad. Yeah, I tried to close out one of my 3 windows, and when that window went, so did the Hangout. So, yeah.
Just to warn you, when you come back in, you've come back in, and people can clearly see Jeffrey.
Yeah. Continuity. Boom.
I can't do anything about that.
Alright, so moving on to Power Morphicon. I'm not the luckiest, but I was the richest at the time.
Yeah, I still don't understand how. Yeah, I still don't understand how a fucking Stockboy Woolworths has that kind of money.
$700 a week.
Wow. So Fallen Angel, how many signatures are on that poster?
There is a signature from every guest at Power Morphicon.
Nice.
Except for the Super Megaforce team. I do not see them on here. I do not believe they got to sign it.
What about the Dino Charge team? Did they sign it?
No. They did not.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
they were pretty much in and then gone. But the Pink Ranger did stay around because Keith Justice took a photo with her at Alison McInnes's booth.
Yeah, there's several shots going around of various shots, and there's a shot of them with the Super Megaforce Rangers, and a few other people got pictures with some of the Rangers here and there. And they also took a
Yeah.
they also took a selfie, which was cool.
Yeah, well, right in behind the ballroom where we were, where that panel was held, there's
Fallen
a
Angel. I'm sorry to cut you off, Fallen Angel, but we can't see the top of your head. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's a hidden hallway behind the panel room, and that's where they took that photo. So I will also just go through what else I picked up while I was there.
Do it.
This is the badge that the Platinum members received.
Nice.
Yeah, we're known as sponsors now, which is hilarious.
Indeed.
So the first one was this.
Nice.
And I'll also say, yay to the people watching. They will have just seen the Fallen Angel's real name.
Oh, well,
Yeah, you held up a badge with your real name.
yeah, well, it's everywhere else, so...
There you go. Signed by Steve Cardenas.
Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
Yeah, but they actually started cheering that in one of the panels.
Nice.
Nice.
Which was hilarious.
Was it
What
one?
was
Was
Steve's
it?
reaction?
Was it? Was it one of the panels that Austin St. John was also on?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay,
It
I was
was,
gonna say that would have been hilarious.
Toko
it was-
change.
I believe it was the Where It All Began panel on the Saturday morning, which
Fair
was
enough.
it was Steve, Catherine, and I believe Walter.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, that was a fucking hideous helmet.
Yes.
Picked up the Giga Gob Revolver from Kyoruga.
Nice. Kyoru Silva.
Hopefully it's not this way on the recording, but for some reason, Marcus keeps going in different sizes. Sometimes his box is small so we can see it, and other side it's so big it cuts off his nameplate.
Weird.
Mm.
Ah, yes. Here.
And this here is a set of Ranger keys from Japan.
Nice.
Is it wrong that I wanted to insert the Legend of Zelda sound there when you opened it?
So we have
It's dangerous to go. Take these.
See, when he opened it up, all I could think of is that old song of I've got a key, I've got a secret, I've got a key to a...
So we got Time Fire, Jakku Red, we got shit, I gotta remember their names now. Gokai Red. We'll just go Alien Ranger Red.
Kako Red.
Same thing.
You're a Kaku.
Go 5 Red. We got Jetman, I believe.
If it's the
Yeah,
bird
Jet-
one, it's man.
Yeah, because there's two that's very similar, and I've got both of them. So we've
Fair
got
enough.
Jetman and Live Man.
Right.
Is it Jetman? That's Red Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Denji Red. Car Ranger Red.
Nice.
I have Dyna Red, Turbo Red.
We can't see them.
We can't see the bottom ones there, Karam, the way you're holding that. There we are.
Die Red.
You
better
Ranger.
known as, Rio Ranger. Sun Vulcan Red.
Nice. Well, there's otherwise known as New Powers Red.
Arca Red. No, that's not right, is it? Arca Ranger. That's the one. Then there's 5 Red. Of course, Live Man. and Bioman Red.
Nice.
So since all the Sentai keys that came before Ranger, since they're introducing them in the show, and apparently, supposedly, from what I heard, or from what I've seen in the show, they're making them powers from other planets. Is it just going to be Alien Red 1, Alien Red 2, Alien Red 3, Alien Red 4?
I'm not too certain, because according to Red Ranger from Megaforce, I can never remember their names anymore.
Troy.
Troy Burrows, played by Andrew Gray.
Yeah. He said that there will be more explanations.
Sure, there will.
I'll believe it when I see it.
After the green black fiasco. Yes. And apparently in next week's episode there will be another Sentai team. After it got leaked on Nick.com earlier in the week.
Power 6, yeah. It's not a leak if Nick hooks it up.
I would also argue, technically speaking, isn't every episode one featuring a Sentai team?
Yeah, he should specify featuring pre-Jus Sentai teams. It should be specified. He is right.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe it was Change Man that is on next week's episode.
Alrighty.
So I will go off camera because I've got to read off my notes.
Fair enough. We are fine with that.
Turn off. If I go into my notes on Friday. So over the course of the weekend, I didn't actually go to many panels.
Boom.
I mainly
Went to more than you.
Well, last time around, I didn't spend enough time in the vendor hall, and I went to pretty much every panel I could. So I was sort of paneled out, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. This is why you're supposed to take your camera, you go buy merch, and you send Mikey to the panels.
Well, he did go to the panels, so
good.
I'm gonna be a dick and say, you seem an expert on this. How many Power Morphicons have you been to, Jim?
Yeah, better questions. How many conventions have I been to, period?
Hold up a second.
Holding up a second.
I assume you went to Mustache Con.
Mustache Con.
Yeah, he's probably got a whole panel on Mustache Con.
Alright, I am
back. There's Fallen Angel. I was going to say while he's away, I wanted to bring up that yesterday morning before I left for Canada, I actually managed to catch the beginning hour and a half of Morphicon Live, or as I like to call it, Bugfest 2014.
Yes.
I mean, God, the guys in that production truck.
There was no production truck. They were sitting
exactly. Well, the thing is, the production quality wasn't terrible. It's that they didn't know the tech. They kept running the wrong bits. They reran the opening like at least twice. I'm like, good God, people.
Yeah.
Well, you get what you paid for.
The actual like production team was sitting on the table next to the booth.
Wow.
Yeah, they were all set up there with their computers and whatever else.
And I would like to say, and I am a fan of Andres, the Black Nerd, but fail!
What did he do?
Very first interview, how does he not know who Chip Lin is? Good God. It's like, and the first interview we have is Chip Lin, and he gives them the who the fuck are you look. I'm like...
Isn't that the partner of Dale from the Rescue Rangers?
Chip Lin Dale.
Alright, so on Friday, it was the first day. I went to Database Rangers panel.
Nice.
Nice.
He did a live recording of the Clash of the Red Rangers review.
Ooh.
That'll probably be on
Yes,
his channel. What, at the beginning of the week?
Yes, no, he mentioned actually it was he pulled it sort of the way some people do. It was pre-recorded for in terms of the story. He mentioned there was going to be story involved, and when I asked him about it, he said that the story involved was going to be relevant down the line. So the recording was pre-reviewed to be shown down the line. It's not being shown right away.
Okay, fair enough.
it was number 63 or 65 or something.
Right, and right now he's on 62, I think. So it's about 3 or 4 episodes away.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, that was actually really good. I did miss out on the Red Ranger panel, which was Yuta Mochizuki and Austin St. John.
Did you see the clip from it? Did you see the clip of them morphing from it?
Yeah, I did. That was hilarious.
That was amazing. Did you guys? Other two guys? Did you get to see the clip?
New.
Okay, so the two of them are up there morphing, and they both got the morphers in their hand. They're going to do the morphing, Yuichi Motozuka and then Austin St. John. So here's how this goes down. So first of all, Yuichi has the morpher attached on his belt, a la Genki
Right,
Ranger.
Dino Buckler. Dino Buckler!
Right. So he goes. So first of all, Yuichi goes to morph, and he goes to grab it, and he drops the morpher on the floor, and falls off the belt and falls on the floor. So he picks it up, and he makes a joke about I can't morph. So he picks it up. He says it's morphin' time to be cool, but then he drops the morpher. So he picks the morpher up, and then he does the morph, and they do a hand thing like that or whatever, and he does the morph. So Austin St. John's like, all right, we know I like to keep it simple, so let's just do this. It's morphin' time. Tyrannosaurus, and the power coin falls out of it.
Wow.
And then Austin looks up and goes, all right, who gave me this morpher?
Wow.
Yes. While spending time in the main hall where all the vendors and of course guests were,
course.
it was twice the size of last conventions.
Nice.
Is that possible? Isn't it at the same location? Wouldn't there be a finite amount of space in that room?
No, because last time around they only used a third of the available space, and this time around they used 2/3.
Ah, fair enough.
I'm
So
just going to make the other joke if it's bigger on the inside.
Ah.
Yeah, because there's a whole nother exhibit hall that they did not use this time around.
Okay.
So if it gets bigger in the future, which it most likely will, frickin' they've got the space.
Fair enough.
Like,
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how they react to that. I know there were the rumors of the next MorphCon being in Chicago, so they have to set up at a new location. Will be interesting to see how they compensate for that.
yeah. Well, with even with the room they had this time round on the Saturday, which was the busiest day, specifically because of the Saban panel, it was really hard to move in that main hall around certain guests because they had such a massive line.
Fair enough.
So yeah, as I showed you, I picked up that pop vinyl figure with Steve Cardenas' signature, the Giga Revolver and the Toki brace.
Nice.
On the Friday night was the Platinum VIP meet and greet. I got to meet a few of the others online-wise. Black Nerd, I met up again with Fury Diamond. I met him at the last Morphicon.
Fair enough.
And Jay and the team from Morphin Legacy. There were some other Power Force members there, but I couldn't remember their names, so I just stayed away.
Well, you saw Keith. Did you see Keith Justice?
Yes, I saw Keith as well. But I think he was there for like a minute, and then he walked back out because he was going to do something else.
Ah, fair enough.
But the cast that actually showed up, it ran from 8 till 12, and I left just before 10 o'clock. But there was R.E. Boyland, Flynn from RPM, Steve Cardenas, Rocky from MMPR, Jorge Vargas Jr., Blake from Ninja Storm, Walter Jones, who was Zach in MMPR, Philip and Jack, from Wild Force, Danny and
And Philip, Jean-Marie, Jack,
Max.
Danny, and Max.
Yeah. Rajita Barudi, Delphine from MMAR.
Cool.
Brad Hawkins was there. I think he might have been there the longest. He was really cool. Yuta Michizuki was there. He turned up for maybe 15 minutes, half an hour, and I don't think many people were really chatting with him. They just wanted photos.
Yeah.
Jason Navi turned up, and he was just the life of the party.
Always. Did he? I know they were advertising it. Did they do the thing where people could bust him with a pie and then win some prizes?
I think they did, but I didn't see him with any.
Okay, because I know they had advertised that, if you see people with pies around, you can arrest them if you pay to get an official pie badge. You can arrest them, and if you get people with pies and arrest them and bring them over to the pie booth, you can get a prize. And they mentioned that if you caught, at the time, Schreier was still going to be there, and they said if you caught Schreier or Narvi with a pie, you got an extra special bonus prize.
Yeah, well, Scott today had a little kid running around with a pie, and freaking anyone who caught him or said there's no pies, he had pins on him to give out.
Nice.
There was also Richard Bracciatino, I think is how you pronounce it.
Is that how you pronounce that? I never really figured that out.
Yeah, I never figured that out. I didn't ask him. Who was Plan Xander from Mystic Force. And right before I left, Brittany Ann Pirtle showed up.
Nice.
So that was good. She's so freaking short. Holy crap.
Yeah. For anybody who's wondering, that would be Emily from Samurai, for those that don't know.
Yeah, she is so short.
She looks short on TV too.
Oh, I'm probably twice as tall as her, almost.
Well, you can tell how short she, as demonstrated with our own, you can tell how short she is. Watch Samurai. She's shorter than the Asian. That's how short she is.
Poor Jeff.
There's an Asian on Samurai?
Yeah, the Pink Ranger.
Yeah.
Her name is Mia.
Mia.
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
She has a running bitch. She can't cook.
Forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about her. My bad.
Yeah. She booked, played by Erica Fong, who booked for Morphicon like the night before.
No, that she booked on Friday night.
Oh, on Friday night. Okay.
Yeah, because the Samurai panel fell apart on the Friday night. It was supposed to happen, and I
heard that. Yeah.
Because there was no one there. Rick Medina showed up late yesterday afternoon and today. So yeah, he wasn't even there for the VIP
Wild Force thing.
Wild Force thing, yeah.
That
and
sucks.
what was surprising, Alison Kipperman, who was only supposed to be there for the VIP meet and greet and the Wild Force panel on the Saturday, she stayed the rest of the day Saturday and came back today. So that was really nice.
That's cool.
So Saturday, which was day 2, we had the Where It All Began panel. That was a double panel. They each had 45 minutes or so, and they just had 2 sets of MMPR and Zeo cast and crew come up. That was really good. Navi interrupted it, which was hilarious.
Of course he did. And if you're going to introduce him correctly. That's Dr. Jason Narvi, PhD.
Yeah. So there's photos of that up on Facebook, along with all the other days. The Saban panel, which was fantastic, but the Dino Charge revelation was a bit of a letdown because we already knew it was coming.
Well, yeah.
Like the young kids, they would be flipping out. But because most of the older fans knew already, we all had our cameras out ready to film it before he'd even announced it. Like while he was showing off the Dino Charge trailer,
Mhm.
everyone was pulling their cameras out, turning around, and getting ready.
To be
Yeah.
fair, don't they always do that with the new casts anyway? So isn't that sort of a tradition?
Well,
Mm.
last Morphicon when they did the Megaforce cast was the first time they had done it because Morphicon is only every other year and it hasn't been around that long.
Yeah, which means the fact they've done 2 back to back with new ones means it's a tradition.
Yeah.
That's true.
So they got like 15 minutes of questions for the Super Megaforce or the Megaforce cast. The one that did stick out was a quote that Andrew Gray had when they were filming the Mega War. Like JDF pulled them aside right before the director was going to yell action,
Hmm.
and he goes, "We were the first, but you were the legends." And then the director apparently went action, so they had to go straight into the scene.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, of course, the Dino Charge cast was announced. Brennan Major is playing the Red Ranger. Yoshi Sudaruso is playing Blue. Camille Hyde is playing Pink. James Davies is Black, and Michael Tabor is Green. Camille stayed around at the Morphicon for a little bit longer. Like she went and changed out of her suit and everything and came back. She
Mm.
was hanging around Alison McInnes. So
Which is interesting because I was relatively sure Saban didn't allow that.
yeah, well, they didn't. They're not flying out until today or tomorrow. They're flying out to New Zealand to get ready.
Fair enough.
Jason Narvi's panel was on Saturday. My lord, that was hilarious.
Mm.
He just kept freaking taking shots at everyone who was asking him a stupid question.
Ah.
And then of course Spike turned up after the samurai panel.
Of course Felix turned up. And nobody cared.
Somebody asked them to do their laughs, so they did that together.
Nice.
I think that was all for Saturday. I didn't go to Steven Skyler's concert.
Mm. That is not Fantastico.
Him and Jeff Perazzo, Trent from Dino Thunder, could be twins, just so we all are aware.
Yeah, I'm relatively sure they could be. They do look a lot alike.
So today I attended the Where It All Began panel with ASJ, Walter, and David Yost. That was really nice. David Yost picked out a couple of his. Hold on. Stupid people. Not that one, you piece of shit. That one. Right. David Yost picked out a couple of questions that some of the fans had asked that he thought were the better questions, and he gave them. One of them got a signed set of Ranger keys, and the
Nice.
other got a signed comic book. So that was nice.
Nice.
I caught the back end of the 6th Ranger panel today. It started off with David Delatour and Rhett Fisher, who are the Ranger Key special edition for Power Morphicon. So that was good to catch that. Steven Skyler showed up, Dan Southworth showed up, and Merrick from Wild Force. I can never remember his actual name. They all showed up, so that was a good. It was a good time to come into the panel. And also today was the Make-A-Wish charity auction. As I showed earlier, I won. I did. That was a lot of money. and it's going to a really good cause for Make-A-Wish.
Too bad it isn't going to making the board you're running better.
Oh well.
Yeah.
We'll figure out.
We'll get something going.
Since I can try and get the 68,000 likes from Power Rangers versus Super Sentai page to come and like our page.
There you go. Well, if it helps on Twitter, I got a tweet of ours favorited by the new Dino Charge Red Ranger Brandon Masia.
Very nice.
Which reminds me, you should probably
Right,
enjoy
well-
that because that's probably the closest thing you're going to get to a Brendan in Power Rangers.
To a what?
A Brendan.
Yeah, well, it's not his actual name in the show.
I'm aware of that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, the Pink Ranger is Shelby.
Yeah, she put that on her Twitter. That was easy to find out.
Yeah. I think it's actually the names from the casting list. Surprisingly enough. Yeah. If you want to go and have a look at that. But I am done. So if you guys have got anything else that you want to know.
Sounds like you had fun, Coggy.
Yeah. I would like to know, during the closing ceremonies, did they announce anything about forthcoming Morphicons?
They did. It is official. I believe it was Michael Copon, who is Lucas from Time Force, asked Scott to come up on the stage, and all Scott said was 2016. That's all he said.
Okay, then. So I guess the 2015 in Chicago's out the window. Fair enough.
Yeah. So Power Rangers Morphicon 5 will be in 2016. Scott also mentioned, because he did go back up on stage after that big things are coming. So my guess, and everybody else's that I have been reading, is that the movie cast will be there.
That would be awesome. If they can get that, that would work out well. I know there's like concerns about the direction Morphicon's going, though, only because Saban has started exerting a tremendous amount of control on this convention. And given that it's supposed to be a fan-run convention, I'm not so sure that's a good thing. I know that Saban put the kibosh on the 18-plus panel, and that never happened. I know that they kicked the Database Ranger Trivia Contest out. They didn't have room for him, and he had to go rent a room with the PF Changs. I'm not so sure that I like Saban exerting this kind of control on what's supposed to be a fan-run convention, enjoyable for everybody.
Yeah, but to be fair, while it is a fan-run convention and stuff, the fact they're using the Power Rangers names means Saban could have them shut down if he wanted to. At least he's actually allowing the fans to have something.
Well, no, because they're not using the names. All they're saying is, that we're here to celebrate the Power Rangers, and we come to celebrate this thing, and to, people can come together and celebrate something if they want to. They don't need the permission of the creators to come together and celebrate something.
They do if the people are making a profit off it.
Only if it's a product that they're making a profit off of, because they're not technically.
Actually, it can also be conventions. If you're using a convention like, say, Power Morphicon, and it's definitely all about Power Rangers, and you're making money off it, the official sources can shut down. That's happened to conventions in the past.
Before each panel, they stated they are a non-profit charitable organization.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, before every panel, they made sure that was stated.
Yeah, they kept saying that, but the fact is that even if it's non-profit, you can still get closed down if you're using their name in a way they don't want you to.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
And it was good to have Make-A-Wish this year, which was really good.
Yeah.
Joe Collins from Buzz's Room, who did all the coins for Morphicon, he's a big advocate of Make-A-Wish.
Cool.
And he actually won the Ranger helmet with all the seasons in it.
Nice. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, do we get to see your coins, Fallen Angel?
You shall. They're not up here though. They are downstairs.
Okay. At some point.
You know what I'm saying?
So
I do have.
I will be putting photos on Facebook.
Yes.
I do have to say, as I mentioned earlier, I did see the opening ceremonies, which was cool with the Make-A-Wish kids and Alex Hartman. Was kind of disappointed they didn't give Alex Hartman a spin sword. I'm like, have him there, have him do something instead of just kind of MC the whole thing. It's like, dude, you're the fucking Red Ranger, do something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did see a cool image of some. I did see a cool image of some kind of set-up holographic-looking Zordon thing, and there's Christopher Cambridge with a spiral saber ready to swing into the thing.
Yeah.
That was funny.
That was Jay's cosplay.
Ah.
Oh, is he the one that had the whole fucking power center and stuff? The power chamber?
No, that was a different one.
No, that was different.
That was an awesome cosplay.
Yeah, I don't actually know who won the cosplay contest, but I'm gonna say it was probably him.
Fair enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that should
All
do
right,
it from
then.
Power Morphicon. Take us out,
Yeah,
Jim.
Alrighty, well, this has been a rather long but very informative around the pound for this week. Stay tuned next week. Indeed, stay tuned next week. There'll be more news, more fun. Do we have a guest slated for next week that we can promote?
We don't.
Not at the moment.
Okay, well, there may or may not be a guest. We'll find out. If not, you'll have the three of us. And for Chris the Mole and Marcus Shadow, thanks for being here. And, of course, the Fallen Angel.
He's not here.
I mean, left already. Well, thanks to the Fallen Angel for having been here, giving us a Morphicon report. To Marcus Shadow, Chris the Mole, thank you guys for being here as always. Till next time, I'm James Phoenix. Peace.